What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, you guys? So we are back again for a brand new episode review of the reunion part 2 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13. Girl, I'm just tonight finna be stressful for me, y'all. Okay, I got this, I got Married to Medicine, and then there's 2 new episodes of Pose coming on tonight, and y'all know that's my show too. I'm so mad that Pose is going off next month. This is the final season. Did y'all hear about the shit that Janet Mock did? Bitch, Po Lil Poppy, okay? Po Angel, we'll get into that in post. But anyway, let's get into this reunion. So, of course, it's LaToya and Drew's turn. And, you know, they're going back and forth about we already seen them going back and forth, and I'm the one that upgraded your look, and you was very costuming throughout the whole season and everything or whatever, so your look fine now and all this stuff, and thank you and all that. Okay, fine, whatever. If you want to take that on, girl, this shirt wrinkled as fuck. Anyway, if you want to take that on, LaToya. But then we get into the clips about their relationship when they first got involved with each other, and everybody is trying. One of the questions was mainly, why is it that LaToya has been antagonizing and coming for Drew so much? What is it about Drew that just ticked her off, and that just had her coming for her? And at this point, LaToya trying to say that she ain't had no, she wasn't antagonizing the girl or whatever. And I said, bitch, yes, you were. From day one, from scene one, you came in and you had an issue with Drew, and you want to make it about her wig. And I ain't never seen nobody that went in on somebody's wig just because and made a big issue out of it, and they continued it going and going and going instead of just letting it go. Who cares if her wig was fucked up? Who cares if it was sliding? Who cares if the edges were lifting or whatever you want to say was happening? Who cares? You didn't even really try to get to know her right off the back. You started judging her because of her appearance. And that is some shallow ass shit. Okay? You know, and Kenya was saying how she told Kenya and Cynthia was telling Drew, or not Drew, but what's that girl name? LaToya, don't do it, because even Cynthia was like, we all had bad hair days, okay? And truth be told, when most of the girls get on here on these shows or whatever, like their first seasons, they got some bad hair days sometimes, okay? Either it's bad hair or bad clothes, okay? Unfortunately for Drew, she had both at the same goddamn time in her first season, okay? Because we could go back to season 1 of The Real Housewives and look at all the old shit that they went through, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's first season. So it's okay, but nobody really harped on it like that. Nobody came in guns a-blazing harping on it the way that LaToya did with Drew. And Kenya and Cynthia was trying to tell her, let it the fuck go, okay? If you want to tell her something, tell it to her in private or whatever, but let it go. And of course, LaToya was not trying to hear that. And it was just ridiculous at this point. And Kenya got in her feelings because she said that Drew took it a bit further when she started tagging Kenya's hair care line and putting up posts of Kenya's hair, whatever, trying to come for her. And she was like, why did I get put into it? I mean, Kenya, you did say a little bit of something, but truth be told, it was mostly LaToya, okay? It was really LaToya that was focusing on your shit. So I understand partly of why Kenya said what she said. And Drew said, bitch, if you coming for me, bitch, I'm going to come for you. I get it, but let me tell you this. Go back to part 1 when they was talking about the Native American costume, and why you shouldn't wear it or whatever. And when Kenya came out that box and she was like, bitch, Portia, your sister wore this, and then Drew, you was up in the shit too. Oh, we was up in this for some family stuff or whatever up in Louisiana. Now, like I said, it is some Native Americans down there in Louisiana that's do the garbs and all that stuff. But bitch, when I actually saw the pictures, oh no, Kenya had a right to bring that shit up. Kenya had the right to bring that shit up. Drew, that wasn't no excuse, okay? Girl, you just got caught. You just got caught, okay? You was trying to call her out, bitch, and you just got caught. Okay, we all make mistakes, all right? It is what it is. Maybe you weren't culturally aware, you know what I'm saying? You were at a party because I seen 2 pictures with your ass, okay? So, stop it. Anyway, moving on from that, so they got into all of that shit, and Drew was just saying how she didn't understand like why they was going back and forth with each other, and why Latoya had such, whatever she had with her, because they had moments where, they were getting along. When they was in South Carolina, they had a moment where they was connecting, and they was talking about relationships, and Latoya was crying to her and Drew was comforting her and everything. They had a few moments like that, but it just never stayed peaceful like that. Latoya had an issue with her talking about the marriage situation or whatever, and truth be told, I understand where Drew come from and I get it, but Drew can come off very like up here when it comes to certain things, when it comes to like God and when it comes to marriage and all that stuff. And I get it, and some other people ain't gonna like that shit. And so that probably rubbed Latoya wrong too. But it is what it is with that. Then they get into the whole thing about Latoya and goddamn Kenya, what type of relationship they had going on. Girl, is they click clack buddies or not? Is they bumping cooch or not? Is they scissoring or not? Is they pump is or not? Okay, is they two fingering it out or not? Is they strapping up or not? Like, girl, I just gave y'all some little tips or whatever. Go look it up if you need to. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. No, let me stop. No, I'm not gonna go do that. I'm not gonna do that. It is hot as fuck in this house, okay? Because, bitch, it is hot as hell outside, and I just turned the air on. If you see me sweating, that's why, bitch. It's like 80-some degrees. I was trying to hold off, but fuck, I'm hot. Then these lights on, Jesus. But anyway, Kenya had a little girl crush. It's okay. It's okay. It don't mean nothing more than that. They was trying to put it like it seemed as if, they had actually did some stuff. Kenya said, I ain't never seen it. I ain't never touched it. I ain't never smelt it. I ain't never tasted it, bitch. I ain't never done nothing to it, okay? I don't even know what it looked like, okay? So, and she ain't never seen none of mine. And, of course, Latoya, you ain't show me your booty. Well, I showed you the cellulite on my ass, but, that ain't nothing. And then Drew was like, they talked about what Drew said on Watch What Happened Live, where she was thinking that she and Latoya and Kenya, probably did something more or whatever. I don't feel they did anything more. I think it was a harmless, innocent, straight girl on girl crush. I think a lot of straight girls have crushes on girls sometimes and feel, and they don't want nothing more than that. They don't want nothing more than that. So it is what it is. And then, Latoya was like, just like me and you cheated on your husband, Drew, with me. We kissed. And I said, bitch, what? Let's see. Come on now. Stop it. So, of course, Drew gonna deny it. I do believe that something happened. Girl, if you kissed a girl, you kissed a girl. It's okay. You kissed a girl and you liked it. I mean, you just probably don't want to admit the fact that it was Latoya that you kissed, okay? But, she don't want to admit that. She said, I've kissed girls before, but bitch, and Latoya was like, me, okay? And Candy was like, yeah, I know about it. Portia know about it. Of course, we got Portia over there. Huh? What? Well, what happened? Girl, shut up. Just go back to being quiet, okay? You've been quiet this whole time. Just go back to being quiet and looking clueless. You look good, but girl, you probably know, okay? I'm pretty sure you are the one that told Candy. But anyway, I don't believe that Latoya is lying, okay? Drew, she'll lie in a quick second, okay? So there it is. I don't know what you're trying to cover up. A kiss is a kiss is a kiss. But, it is what it is, because you all about marriage, right? You all about marriage and, the sanctity of marriage and everything. But you kissing on Latoya. Okay, girl. It is what it is, okay? Y'all just having fun. Good girlfriends, okay? Moving on from that, they bring out Shamia and goddamn Marlo, okay? The Monty and the niece or whatever. Girl, Shamia came out... And y'all want to say that Candy shit look like a costume. Shamia shit look like a costume, bitch. And she talking about she was inspired by, like, the divas of the day, like Diana Ross tees. I mean, I guess what the hell, but it was giving me Dolores Van Cartier, okay? That is what it was giving me. I have never, nor am I going to be a lounge singer. I am a headliner, okay, bitch? That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get the reference, shame on you. Who raised you, okay? But I was just like, girl, it was a lot. It was a lot. She looked cute, but it was a lot. The hair and everything. Of course, Marlo had on barely anything. And right off the bat, right off the back, Shamia was like that lipo body, you know what I'm saying? That's that lipo body and all that stuff or whatever, claiming that you had a fucking back injury and all this shit, but you really had the lipo. Girl, I said, we still mad at each other. We still mad at each other after all this time. Shamia, let it go. I mean, I get it. Marlo can say some slick shit, but god damn, guns are blazing, bitch. Okay, give it to us. Give us some more, And, at this point, here go Andy. So your back okay? How long was it hurt? She was like, oh no, it was hurting for like 1 or 2 weeks or whatever. But it's okay being a Monty and all this stuff, whatever, with my nephews and doing homeschooling and all this shit. She was like, I didn't have lipo when I was down there in South Carolina or whatever. When they went to New Orleans or whatever, that's where it was, New Orleans, because he did ask, did you have fresh lipo? She said no, but I did have it when I got back. Can't you tell? I was like, girl, let it go. Okay. It is what it is. They get into talking about how Latoya, I think this was before Marlo and Shamia came out, but Latoya talking about Kenya's alimony to, Portia and them, okay? And how she can see that people would think that she two-faced it, and why would she say that? Latoya, girl, you on some bullshit, and I believe Kenya. It's as close as y'all been. Y'all was damn near click-clack buddies this whole season, and you mean to tell me, like, Kenya was infatuated with Latoya, and Kenya looked like the type that once she feel like she close to you, she'll tell you some stuff, especially when she wants to keep you on her side, okay? And she was like, I told you, because here go Latoya, I did not know the dynamic between these girls because they act like they can't stand each other, but it's a sisterhood and all this stuff. And I said, girl, you mean to tell me you ain't seen that episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta? You ain't even got to see them in person and get to know them in person. All you got to do is look at one particular episode and you can see the dynamic between her and Portia, okay? And even with her and Marlo at the time, you know what I'm saying? And you should already know that they don't get along like that. So why would you reveal her information? You know what I'm saying? That was wrong on your part. And even Kenya had to pull out and pull it, be like, bitch, that's bullshit. Okay? That's bullshit. I told you this, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell Drew. I didn't want Drew to know whatever because Drew was on Portia's side. She was being groomed by Portia, and I didn't like that word groom, okay? Because usually when we use the word groom, it's like in a predator sense, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to sexually grooming somebody, child abuse and stuff like that. I ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? Even though that's not what she meant, okay? It just automatically, I just don't like the word. I don't like the word, me personally, so it's nothing against her. I just don't like it. But I get what she was saying. She basically was saying that, Portia and Drew were so close, you know what I'm saying? So it seemed more so like Drew would be on Portia's side because Drew wasn't really fucking with Kenya. So of course she would think that. Of course, Portia, groom, first I'm grooming, now I got lap dogs or whatever. Y'all ain't paying me too much for this stuff that I'm doing and everything. I said, Portia, just be quiet. Look cute, be quiet. And so she was like, it's bullshit. You already know. And that's when Andy was like, you can see why people called you Two-Faced because you was doing the most. And she was like, yeah, I get it. Okay, so when Shamia and Marlo comes out, they get into the South Carolina trip. And how Kenya was a bad host, okay? Girl, when they go through that montage of the food and everything and how pissed out Candy was, they asked Candy, so, Kenya was messed up and being messy this whole season, and you only called her out. Oh, yeah, let me just say this. When Latoya was trying to defend herself about, talking about her alimony, Kenya's alimony, she said, well, Candy brought it up in front of Don Juan, and Candy said, I sure did, and I shouldn't have, just like you shouldn't have, okay? It still was wrong. Either way, it still was wrong. So I said, okay, at least you know. But they was like, Kenya been messy this whole season and you only say something about the food because it's Candy and food. We already know how she feels. She said, bitch, it was a build-up and that was the last straw. And when she get hangry, she gets fucking hangry. And that's what it was, okay? They started talking about the fact that Kenya was able to bring her daughter. And, she was like, Kenya said, this is the deal. Everybody, and no offense to you, Candy, but, you can bring a dick in a box. Okay, my dick in a box, babe. If y'all don't remember that reference, you're young. Okay, SNL, Justin Timberlake, dick in a box. Go look it up. That shit was probably one of the funniest shit from SNL ever. Okay, in a long time, I would say. I ain't gonna say ever. But anyway, so She was basically like, you arranged a dick in a box, but if you really wanted your child to come out there, and any one of y'all wanted your children to come out there, y'all could have had them come out there. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking like, if I'm being told this is a girls trip, I'm thinking that it's just for the girls, not the girls and our kids trip. So that's probably what they were thinking. So of course they made arrangements to get their kids taken care of. And she was like, I'm not going to be in Atlanta, so I'm not going to have my kids staying out there with a stranger or whatever. And I get that. King is a new mom or whatever. She don't have nobody else around. And I can't be 100% mad at the fact that she did not want to, leave her child behind with a stranger. But at the same time, you could have left her with your cousin, Shay, or somebody like that you actually trust. And maybe like Kenya got some trust issues. And I understand that, because I do feel like I would be that type of person if I did have a child that, and I've always said this, I'd be a helicopter mom. Like, my kid would be underneath me all times, okay? At all times, because I wouldn't trust people. So maybe that's where she coming from, but I'm pretty sure things could have been arranged better. That's what they getting at. So basically, she was like, well, you could have brought your child if you want to. And they made it seem like it was production that didn't want them to bring kids. And even Portia said, anytime that Kenya would bring a child or whatever, it's like her going against the grain with production. Then they get into the whole thing about this tweet that Kenya tweeted about her mothering is better than our mothering or whatever. Of course, Portia and Kenya get in a back and forth just slightly, but Portia cleared it up, saying basically they were not given an opportunity to mother their kids the way that they wanted to on this trip or whatever, because oh my god, it's hot as fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. She was not able to do the mothering that she wanted to do because she wasn't allowed to, or they wasn't allowed to, just like Kenya was with being able to bring her child on the trip. To be quite honest, all of it was petty. Okay, it's all petty. And like Candy said, the reason why, because somebody asked Candy, Riley even came out and said that you wasn't barely there when she was growing up because you was always on the road, you was always working or whatever. So now all of a sudden you want to have your kids there, you're tearing up and all this stuff. And she was like, basically it's because production, she was always told that by production that you couldn't bring your kids, okay? And then to see Kenya with her child is like, so are we getting mixed information? You giving her one type of information, I'm giving another. And then she was like, basically, I felt also that Kenya was using Brooklyn as a way to not have to deal with the rest of the girls. And I can see it as that, okay? Because whenever Kenya didn't want to be involved, she would be like, I want to go and check on Brooklyn. I want to do this with Brooklyn, and I got to go put her to sleep. I got to go fix this, and I got to fix that. And I can see how they looked at it like that, you know what I'm saying? So we get off of that, and we get onto this whole thing about Kenya getting a private jet and Drew putting the information out there. Kenya wanted to get a couple of sprinters, but she said for that amount of money, I could have just went on ahead and get a private jet for just me and Latoya and her nanny in Brooklyn, okay? And so they was like, why did you say it to the girls, Drew? Here go Kenya, because you a narc. That's Kenya's new word, okay? From the last couple of episodes, that's Kenya's new word, narc, okay? But Drew is like, it wasn't me ratting out Kenya. It was me holding her accountable, because these are your friends. Why wouldn't you want to tell your friends what's going on and all this stuff? I'm just holding you accountable. And I'm sitting here like, bitch, what? Who are you? Who are you? You literally snitched because you felt the need to put that on blast. That's what it was. It wasn't holding nothing accountable. If she wanted her people to know that she was on a private jet, she would have eventually told them. I do feel like Kenya would have eventually told her. You know what I'm saying? But Drew, you just wanted to put that out there, okay? You just really you couldn't wait. Listen. Y'all know how I feel about Kenya. I'm not her biggest fan, but I don't dislike the girl, okay? And I actually kind of like her on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she brings a different dynamic. She brings a certain level of drama. She brings a certain level of messy that we do need, okay? But, I'm not going to sit here and always go in all the time on Kenya when she don't need to be. Bitch, Drew, you was doing the most, okay? You talking about that's that high narcissistic quality about you that you think that you is the main one or whatever, that you the one that has to, it's your responsibility to call people out. It's your responsibility to put people on blast. It's your responsibility to make sure this person holds himself accountable. Who are you? Who are you? It was a private jet. You just couldn't wait to say that because you felt salty that you couldn't get on it. That's probably what it was, all right? Because you thought you was cool with her, whatever. And so you felt the need to put it out there. She wasn't like, if she wanted them to know, she would have known. Now, if she would have did some shit like that to you, you would have been up in arms as well. So, girl, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And then Kenya was like, before when we was cool, I was telling you how you did that with your, housewife party. You did a lovely thing, and you was talking to me about the body issues that you was having. Of course, Drew had to go into this whole explanation about a certain form of endometriosis. I can't remember the name. I'm not even going to try. That she had, talking about how extra tissue grows up on the abdominal wall, and she has to get a hysterectomy. She talked to Dr. Jackie and all of this stuff or whatever. So if you're going to talk about somebody and talking about a woman with body issue, and then especially a woman from who had kids or whatever, you need to come out talking about, being knowledgeable and all this stuff and woo. The way that Drew tries to divert and deflect things to get off of her and put onto another person, it is amazing. I'm like, girl, you fucked up in that moment, and you basically tried to put it on Kenya and made her seem like the bad guy. I'm sorry. I'm with Kenya on this. You didn't have to open up your mouth and say nothing to the girls. They would have eventually found out, but you didn't even give Kenya the chance to tell the girls about the private jet. Okay? You blurted that shit out. But girl, I just like, man, and then they started talking about the whole thing about, the broke bitches split checks and stuff like this. And Kenya was like, nah, it was just fun shade. That's all that it was, okay? It ain't nothing about being broke. And then she was like, broke bitches split checks, but rich bitches buy $1 million houses or some shit like that. That's what Drew said. And then Kenya said rich but still need a job. And she was like, step up, okay? Step up, made $400 million worldwide and all this stuff and woo. And I said, bitch, you mentioning step up, that was years ago, as if you was a starring role up in there, bitch. You was a supporting character, a very light supporting character up in Step Up, bitch. And truth be told, if you had not said step up, I wouldn't have remembered that you was up in the movie, okay? I do remember she was up in the video for Sean Paul and Keisha Cole. But other than that, girl, what? Shut up. Okay, Drew, stop it. Girl, what have you been in since TLC movie on VH1? Drew, you're getting on my nerves, okay? And I like you, but you're getting on my nerves. And then the singing at the dinner table. Girl, shut up. Both y'all. So then we get into Cynthia's wedding. 10-10-20, okay? Girl, basically we go through the whole montage. I did not know that there was issue between Mike and his daughter Ashley. Somebody had asked the question, why wasn't she shown in the footage or whatever? And, Cynthia said Mike was supposed to be walked down the aisle with Kayla and Ashley. I guess those are his two daughters, but I guess it didn't happen. And I don't believe she showed up to the wedding. And Cynthia said it had nothing to do with her. I guess it was an issue between Mike and Ashley, so I'm not particularly sure. So we're just going to leave that alone, okay? Cynthia and Mike, they still together, living on the hill, lake on the hill, okay? Mike, he's got a position at somewhere, whatever, that would require him to work out there in Atlanta. So when the world's open back up, they're going to figure out that living arrangement or whatever, how they're going to do that. But, of course, people had things to say about the fact that they had this big wedding in the pandemic era. And this was kind of early on into the pandemic, and so people was just like, why couldn't you scale it back? Why couldn't you just wait? This is your second marriage, wedding. So why did you need to do that? And to answer that question, she was basically like, with her first marriage, she wasn't in the same place. And we saw the stress. Let me tell you something. I'm not mad at the fact that Cynthia wanted to do what she wanted to do with this wedding, and I get it, because so she had her heart set on it, and I understand that. But yeah, it could have been scaled back, or it could have been postponed, or it didn't need to be right. It didn't need to be that many people there, regardless. She could have just had a little family on his side, family on her side, and that was it or whatever. But you know, people gonna do what they're gonna do. You can't tell nobody how they want to plan their special day. And like she said, that first wedding, she wasn't in the same spot. She was so stressful. She stressed out, and you could tell that she really wasn't happy. She wasn't happy at her wedding to Peter. You know, Mallory and Andy so messy. He was like, yeah, you know, with Mallory, you know, had in the marriage certificate and I said, okay, Andy, you ain't have to bring that up. Okay, we ain't have to drum up on that. You know, their relationship is cool now, you know, so you ain't have to bring that up. But yes, that was part of it. I said, I ain't never seen no shit like that when Mallory and her mama did that shit. I said, that was so messed up. You see this girl stressing out and you gonna pull a stunt like this on the actual date of the marriage, of the wedding? Girl, that was messed up. But yeah, she in a different place. This is somebody that she truly was in love with and wanted to have a do-over with the marriage, the wedding thing. And you know, she wanted to go by the laws and be as safe as possible. That's why she did it the way that she wanted to do. And Andy asked if anybody else was in Cynthia's position, would they have scaled back and still had their wedding or whatever. And you know, Candy said, if I was hell-bent on a date just like Cynthia, I probably would have went on ahead and planned it just like it. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. Cynthia's wedding. We spent how many episodes on Cynthia's wedding to spend less than 5 minutes on it in a reunion? Exactly. I was like, girl, what is this? Okay. Then we get this whole montage. And at this point, it's like they pulling at straws or whatever, they dragging this out, because why do we need a montage as the history of Candy and Portia's relationship? Okay, they cool. They cool for right now. I don't know how cool they are now. I did watch Candy speak on it or whatever, and they was talking about the whole issue with the Black Lives Matter and Candy going to the network and, you know, asking for this, asking for that, and Portia getting... Girl, it was confusing to me, but it was all petty if you ask me, and it wasn't nothing that I would have got pissed over and ended a friendship or jeopardized a friendship or been or not speaking terms with somebody that, truth be told, didn't have to let her back in her good graces. Truth be told. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be 100% honest. Bitch, Marlo said, they was like, after they did that montage, they was like, are you surprised? Anybody surprised that they cool again or whatever? You know, because they started it off with season 9, okay? And season 9 was when, you know, Rapegate, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? With Portia, Portia and Phaedra, okay? And, you know, they was like, you know what, truth be told, I'm not surprised. But then again, I am a little bit, I think like the dungeon party, whatever, got them closer. This is what Marlo is saying, okay? And it was like, after the dungeon party, Portia was like, Candy this, Candy that, Candy this, and all this stuff. But I was a little bit concerned, like, wow, you know, I never knew that y'all was going to be that close or whatever. It almost seemed like, you know, y'all did something together, or like Candy got some dirt on her. I said, Marlo... Marlo is a mess, okay? Marlo is messy. That's what she is. I'm here for it at this point because the shit is boring. But I'm going to be 100% honest, okay? And this is just me. Some people may feel different, but when it comes to allegations of any kind that are detrimental to a person's business, to a person's person, to a person's well-being, I don't know. No, I'm not going to say I don't know. I know for damn sure I could not do what Candy did. Okay. And I like Portia as a person. Portia was naive enough, but she was grown enough to understand what was going on. Phaedra, I would say Phaedra saw an easy target in Portia. Because like I said, she's naive as fuck sometimes, okay? And back then, Portia has matured just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She ain't as dumb as she was back then. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Phaedra saw an end and manipulated the fuck out of her. And I don't understand how you let somebody just make it seem as if this other person did something to you, plant something in your mind to make it seem like this person did something to you and you know they did, okay? And that's basically what happened between Portia and Phaedra and Candy, you know, with this whole allegation of sexual assault, rape, and all this stuff. And my whole thing is this. When all that came out and it was Phaedra's fault and Portia had to play into it or whatever, and I understand why Candy did not forgive Phaedra, but I'm the type of person, bitch, I won't be talking to neither one of them. And I actually like Portia. I have nothing against her. But baby, that would have been the end of it. And if I would have forgave her, I would have forgiven her for the sanctity of myself, my own sanity, and, you know, to calm my nerves or whatever, to get that weight off of my chest. But we would not be friends again. we would not be friends again. Ain't no talking, ain't no nothing. If you see me and you say hello, I might say hello or whatever, but other than that, don't reach out to me because I damn sure ain't reaching out to you. It's over and it's done with. I'm not the type of person that could get over something like that. Candy, you better than me. You on a more mature level than me because I just wouldn't be able to do that. Do y'all understand that? Or do y'all feel the same way? Or do you look at it differently? And I was just like, they have come a long way because, like I said, bitch, it wouldn't have been me. So Candy had to clear it up and say, "Listen, I don't think we got close after the dungeon, but what happened was, you know, Marlo just probably felt some type of way because even Candy did say that the kind of relationship between Portia kind of changed a little bit once Candy and Portia, became back cool or whatever. And Candy was basically like, at this point, especially within the last year, they feel like, you know." You just got to come to a point where you see a person trying and you saw it was an event that was going on with Cynthia and Don Juan was there and Portia was going over there, supporting him and some shit like that. And she was like, oh, okay, because, they had their issues too or whatever. So, yeah, they cool or whatever. It is what it is, okay? They get into the freaking bachelor party. Not the bachelor party, bachelorette party, okay? This is what we've been wanting to talk about. I didn't care about anything else that was going on. This is what we wanted to talk about. So, basically, part 3 is going to be the rest of this shit. And let me tell y'all something. Do y'all realize Tanya Sams really just got diddled and daddled up in Bolo land or whatever and got on a red eye back to Canada, and we ain't seen that bitch since. Like when she said, my name is Bennett and my ass ain't in it, you not gonna put me in it, I'm leaving. She meant that shit, okay? I said, oh bitch, and they ain't even trying to mention her like that. But anyway, and the only reason why, and I forgot about her. I forgot about it until I seen her in a couple of clips, okay? But anyway, they started talking about the little dungeon shit. Candy gave Andy a nickname of Silver Bullet. They was talking about how Chocolate, which is Kenya, and Portia was getting along, and Kenya was like, wait, where are we now? She was talking about how she could see all up in my uterus and everything and all this stuff. Portia was like, no girl, me and Chocolate, we good girlfriends, okay? I don't know about Kenya, but me and Chocolate, we get along and all that stuff. Which we did see them having a good time together doing a little bachelorette party and all that stuff. Then we get into Candy talking about something she's gonna do a virtual dungeon party or whatever so that you can have it in your own house. I said, feel how you feel about Candy, because people do feel a certain way about Candy. People think that, she a little shady, she a little messy or whatever, okay, underhandedly or whatever. Bitch, I don't care. That bitch, I admire her business sense, okay? She will make any opportunity, any fucking drama, any goddamn whatever it is, and turn it into a business situation, okay? Dungeon party. We finna have some that dungeon shit. We turned it into a goddamn tour, okay? Candy coated nights. We finna give you some candy coated sex toys or whatever. This dungeon party, bachelorette party. Let's make it a virtual thing or whatever, okay? You like food? Let's make a couple of restaurants and shit. Bitch, she be putting her hands in everything, and she be promoting her products and stuff throughout the show. If you really looking at it, you know what I'm saying? But I admire that shit. I really do. But moving on from that, what else wound up happening? Girl, the coffee table, Toya and Portia fucking around. That's basically it. And I was just like, what else gonna happen? Okay, can we speed this along so we can get to part 3? And so, the thing in with Marlo just breaking up all this kumbaya stuff, okay? Like, she like, listen, it's too goody up in this bitch. Let's talk about the goddamn pink elephant. Bitch, I'm wearing pink. No, let me stop. Let's talk about the pink. Anyway. Let's talk about what's in the room, okay? The elephant in the... Let's talk about the pink elephant in the room, okay, bitch? Listen, girl, Marlo just needed a moment at that moment, okay? I mean, it was going to come up eventually, but I guess this is going to segue into the drama that happened at the bachelorette party. And she just wanted to understand what it was. Like she don't know. of why her and Portia aren't cool anymore. What happened at South Carolina that made them not cool? And that basically what was going on, back and forth, back and forth. You know, she talking about Portia's new face. She talking about Marlo's new body. Oh, she know what it is. Oh, you know what this is. Oh, this. And next thing you know, Marlo called her a bitch at the end. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, I don't even care. I don't even care. Please let this be 3 parts, because the way that they made it sound on the third, they didn't even make it sound like this was gonna be the last part. I don't understand how it's even 3 parts. But if it's 4-part reunion, I'm gonna be pissed. This better be 3 parts, because this was enough. They dragging it. But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all felt about this part 2, and I will see y'all later on tonight for Married to Medicine and Pose. Peace.